What up, world? It's your boy Jaystar back again with another video, man. We here with the showdown for Thursday night, full strategy video, man, for y'all. So y'all can really build, the winning lineup, man. You already know how we do this. So what a huge game we have this Thursday night, man. I can't wait. I'm very excited to watch this game, man. It's woo. I mean, I'm hopeful for, just crazy amount of points, man. Like for real, like I want to see a nice shootout, type of game, man. Atmosphere game and everything. Like it'd be crazy if this game could have like 30 to 40 or something. But if not, hopefully we still just get some decent scoring, man. Like some 28s to 24 or something. I just don't want to see what we saw on Monday night. Cause that was some straight trash to me, man. Like, oh god, man. I mean, just the last two showdowns, I feel like were pretty bad. I mean, but they kind of set up last week's showdowns with a lot of weak teams, but this week's showdowns is a lot more exciting team, so should be more fun and more scoring. So let's get into it though. So how to prepare these lineups? You know how I always do this. Start off with the defensive matchups and things like that. So you know how each team is going to attack. The other defense and stuff like that. So we're gonna get right into it. Miami plays a 3-4 defense and Cincinnati plays a 4-3 defense. So if I start with the Cincinnati side, they're going to need to attack the passing. Really, yeah, just really establish passing and getting it to their best receiver. So definitely Chase, is definitely going to be involved as captain play over here. You can also, you can throw in Higgins, but I do feel like Boyd is a little bit better. Just because the slot and the route running ability, these two, more route running ability, but Higgins is more just a big play. So, one play or two plays in a game, he definitely can get there. I also gotta say, even Burrow could possibly be captain in this game, man. Depending on how many touchdowns he's able to throw, his rushing ability too is why I have to say that, because I mean he attempts 5, 4, 6, and excuse me, y'all. But the pocket, is just oh man, he just getting no time in the pocket. So trying to think about, like if he's not getting any time in the pocket and he has to extend plays, run out of that pocket, he could end up getting, easily 5 to 6 fantasy points having to run. Kind of what I want to say, like we saw from Lamar, but we know Lamar is way faster and things like that, and always was running out the pocket and stuff like that. But I'm just thinking like Lamar ran 100 and something yards on them. I mean, if this boy has to, run out the pocket over and over, then he can get about 50 and could get a rushing touchdown too. So that's why I have to say, Joe Burrow is in the mix of captain in this side. Not really feeling Mixon too much, but I know he is the home back. But it's just that Miami's defense is pretty strong against the run. I would think it would take more pass catching, ability for Mixon to really get there. So I'm really kind of probably fading him at captain for my, at least my point of view of this game, just because, like I say, I know he's the home back, so I know it's possible, but it's just that he's going to need to, go back to what we saw. I think it was like the first two games. Or well, my bad, it was the one in the third game here. So, targets at 9 and 7 is great. That's why I will say, like I said, it is possible just because he can get the pass catching there and get a touchdown that way. But it's just, I mean, I gotta fade somebody, like every time. And right now, so far as Mixon for me, and like I say, home backs though definitely can get there though. So I'm not gonna say like y'all shouldn't do it or anything, but it's just my point of view. I just feel like they got to establish the pass, and I feel like they're I mean, they have a ton of weapons to do it, man. Just a ton of weapons to get there. But as in flex options, though, for sure, like flexing options, definitely. Let me just go ahead and put, Mixon is definitely a flex option just because he is pass catching 7 targets and stuff like that. Like, definitely got to toss him in there as a flex option. Also, I would say Hurst is a flex option, of course. Wait, what happened? It ain't move him in there. Okay, hold on. Where'd he go? Did I lose him? There you go. Okay, so Hurst is definitely in play for that. And then let me see. So I got, but if I take out Mixon, just so y'all can see who else. I mean, definitely also I like. Let me see something in here. Who I want to take out here? Yeah, I'm gonna take out Mixon. Because I would also say McPherson could get there too, man. Like as a flex play, man. He just puts up so. I mean, he can kick so far, man. I mean, look at this 10, 13, just double digits in like out of 3 games, almost, almost all of them. So it's the fact that these 50-yard, bombs that he's kicking, man. Like talking about 10, you get 10 points off of just two. You know what I mean? Like and he does this like every game. He probably kicks almost a 50 yards. So it's like, man, you're going to be sitting on the edge of your seats if you don't have him. And, he ends up kicking 3 times or something, 50-yard bombs, and that's going to be 15 points. And we already saw how 2 kickers made the lineup on Monday. So I expect people to probably be playing kickers this weekend. Also, definitely expect people to kind of play the defense for the Dolphins, but we'll get there in a second. But yeah, like I said, McPherson is definitely for a flex play. I'm trying to think of the sleepers though here, because I know we have one of the tight ends is out for the Cincinnati, and I know Mike Thomas has been playing a lot at practice, at least, filling in the void for there. I know he's probably more in for blocking and special team plays and stuff like that, but he has been at practice, they said, a lot playing. So him, also who I want to say, Asi down here, could be in play as a sleeper, man. I don't really think too many receivers, because unless you think T. Higgins is going to be out, for a concussion or something like that in the game, because he keeps getting popped like crazy. So Mike Thomas, I believe, came in the first game when he came. Yeah, I thought he had a touchdown in this game, but I guess not. But definitely, he could come in and end up catching something too. So I would have to say he's a sleeper too at $800 if you think, something was to happen to one of their receivers for Cincinnati. Other than that, I think that's about it that I would take down there for sleepers for this side. So we're going to move on to the other side of the game. And we have the Dolphins, and they're going against a 4-3 defense. They need to establish the run and just establish, but the thing is, man, even without establishing the run, because they need to set up big plays, and they have receivers to definitely get big plays, too. So definitely, like Waddle and Tyreek Hill is definitely going to be in play to be captain for this game. But like I said, if they do try to establish the run, Edmonds and Mostert is definitely in play, man. Mostert is the better running back, I feel like. We know they both have like elite speed to me. Pass catching ability too, both of them can do that. So like I say, like they're both in play too, man. Like I noticed like Cincinnati does give up, pass catching back points. So it's kind of whatever back you kind of feel is going to get those pass catching abilities, and they kind of share like the same amount of opportunities. Like you go look at this, and 4-1-1 receptions, like it's not a lot. You can go to Mostert here and you got 3-1, it's scary because like one of them can really catch and be gone, man. Like, and that, and it's just that, like I'm saying, like I've seen like Cincinnati giving up about 19-20 fantasy points. So I have to say they kind of are in play at captain. You wanted like a cheaper captain, basically. They are in play then for sure. Definitely got to put in 2 or 2 in that mix though, because just having so many weapons to be able to throw the ball to down the field for big plays. But like I said, they're gonna need to try to establish some type of run. But I do know like the way Miami plays, they do run the ball. It's just like, not a lot. And then I want to say that they leave in their running backs and tight ends like Gesicki and stuff like that to block, to really set up the big plays, and making sure they pick up any blitz and all that stuff. So that gives time for Tua. So more than likely he'll always have time in the pocket because they have so many people down there blocking for him, just to make sure they can get the ball into these big receivers, these big play receivers' hands. So I would have to say though, all these 5 right here would definitely be in play for this game, especially talking about shootout game, man. It makes everybody almost be in play for real, because you never know if you got to go cheap at captain or you got to go higher at captain. Of course, I would always say though, going cheap, you probably gonna tie with the world because everybody's trying to definitely get everybody in there. All these big play receivers, and usually going high and trying to be see what it forces you to take usually ends up making you get on the right track to winning these things. So but on this side, we have to say for all the flex options here, definitely those 2 running backs are in there, but I want to go to just receiving options for a second here. And I'm looking at just Gesicki's definitely going to be in play there, even though I know he's in a block most of the time. I also think if Cedric Wilson is able to go, I feel like this is something about him, man. Feels like this is a game for him, man, because as we saw like week 3, it was a lot of what I want to say, like it seemed like a lot of people adjusted to kind of sending out their big threats, like these big name receivers and stuff like that as the distractions. That's what I kind of saw, like I said, I've been learning every week. So I'm noticing that, like, I look at the Vikings game, it looked like Jefferson was a distraction the whole game just to make sure they got, Thielen wide open, KJ Osborne back-to-back plays, and then ended up with the game-winning touchdown. I mean, it's just because if you send Jefferson in the same, route and area as, like, like I'm saying, like if you send him if he was on this team and you sent them on the same route area where Cedric Wilson's gonna be running, then more than likely he gonna get double and Cedric gonna have a one-on-one, and then it could be some confusion. He can get deep down the field and have a touchdown. And this feels like one of those games where they might send Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill in the same route area as Cedric Wilson, and then he comes up big for a big catch. So I would keep in mind about Cedric Wilson. I know probably people thinking about Craycraft. Just so y'all know, Craycraft cannot be elevated again. If y'all read right here, Craycraft is not eligible for any more elevations for Miami practice squad. So he just got reverted back to, so he cannot play this game, just so y'all know. So I don't want y'all to be playing him and then miss out, getting a 0 there. Sherfield is definitely in play too, because I mean, like, I feel like he probably gets elevated since Craycraft cannot. So I would definitely have to say he could be in play for one of those type of Craycraft touchdowns. Alec Ingold definitely in play too as well, as a sleeper here. I would say Sherfield, Craycraft, and also I'm keeping a watch to see if they're going to elevate Freddie Swain, because they picked him up $200, but they put him on the practice squad on 9-2 right there. So right before the season even started, and he hasn't been elevated, but maybe because he didn't pick up enough of the plays yet. I'm sure they have a big playbook here, but if he can get elevated, I would think about him too. Being kind of taking that Craycraft role. I feel like he's a really good receiver, probably better than the Sherfields, kind of right there with Cedric Wilson type level, I feel like, of a receiver. So I would probably want him over Sherfield maybe, but maybe not, just because Sherfield probably just been around, he already has targeted and stuff like that, been targeted. And I don't know for sure what Freddie Swain will do, but if the game gets tough at all, for them to score, they might toss him in there and he could catch a deep route catch or something like that for a touchdown, just as a sleeper play there. Definitely, like I say, everybody's more than likely going to take Dolphins defense, and I feel like every line is going to have a Dolphins defense, just because of the fact they're going to think for sure, Burrow's going to get sacked over and over and over, and they're a good defense too. Like 4 sacks last game against Buffalo, against Josh Allen too. So I know people are going to think if Josh Allen was getting sacked and caused a fumble recovery and everything, then definitely, they could do the same. The only thing I worry about is that even in the fact if something like that was to happen and they do establish like 15 points fantasy or something like that early in the game, I just feel like Cincinnati just has so many weapons to be able to score on you. And it's always cool. I noticed that, like, lately, like all the showdowns, defense and kickers been in most of the showdowns when it wasn't a sleeper basically. And so yeah, it's a definitely easy go-to. The only thing I hate about the defense is that when you had a defense, you're always gonna be worried about falling down, like the points just going down from 15 points to 1 touchdown. Next thing you know, you got like 11 or something like that. If a kick even happens, then you got about, like, I think 12 or something like that. So you just dropping 4 to 3 points like every score basically. So I would I would recommend basically the kicker then over that, is what I'm saying, because at least when you do take a kicker, all you can do is go up, so like at least you ain't never worried about, oh, they're going they're going to lose points or something like that. So that's why I would say the kicker first over them. So I don't care, I don't really mind it. I mean, in a shootout, kickers are always really good to play too. So definitely both sides kickers are good for building your lineup up. But so I think that's about it, y'all, man. Like, try to kind of went over every aspect, man, to help y'all out with building these lineups. And like I said, it's about what we got. Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and then Tua over here would probably be my favorite plays at captain for this game. Like I said, you can go lower and take the what I want to say, these running backs and stuff if you want to. But and then on the other side, my favorite plays would have to be Chase. I want to say, I know, like, Joe Mixon, like I say, I'm fading them a little bit, but putting them in the flex for sure if I have to or something like that. But you can definitely, if you want to take him at captain, you can definitely do it. I feel like Burrow is definitely in play. And then, my bad, I wanted to say, where is he at? Boyd is in play big, for my side over here. T. Higgins kind of scares me, y'all, just because of the fact Him getting knocked out of these games, man, is like killing me, man. Like, 4 points right here. Started off, he was looking really good, and it's like, in for big plays too, like long, deep catches and stuff like that, because he's a big target, like 6'4" or something like that. So yeah, but always having to jump up and for the ball and things like coming down, slamming on your head and things like that, just makes me worry because it's like he's had like 2 games already where like they hit him in the head, man. Like, and I just, oh man, I don't know. So I would have to say these 3 would probably be my favorites. And like I gave y'all the other 3 for the other side. So man, I hope y'all, enjoyed this video, man. I hope it really helps y'all win some big money for this. We got, I think, $1 million on the table for this showdown. So man, a lot of money to win, man. So let's get it, man. Let's do this. It's your boy Jaystar. Thank you for all the likes, comments, subscribers, and I'm out. Peace.